10 months ago, I planted one tiny little seed, crossing my fingers that the picture was real and that I would get pink stem celery. And now it's the star of my garden, so let's make it the star of my kitchen too. My name's Christy, and welcome to the Wildflower and Twine kitchen. Today I'd like to share with you two of my favourite ways to preserve celery. And after watching this video, I'm sure they'll become staples in your pantry and fridge too. The first way we're going to preserve our celery is through fermentation. The first time I tried this, I was just blown away, and it instantly became my favourite fermented vegetable. And then after we set that up, we're going to make some celery salt, the #1 flavour enhancer that every pantry should have. First of all, you're going to want to give your celery a good clean and then pat dry with a tea towel before separating the leaves from the stems. And of course, you don't have to have pink celery. Any celery will work fine. We really only want to keep the thicker stems for the jar that we're going to ferment, so any of the thinner stems that are attached to the leaves, just put them aside and we'll use those later. So now you'll need to grab a set of scales, a clean jar, some water, salt, and a few herbs and spices. My go-to is a big thick slice of onion, some peppercorns, a bay leaf, and some dill. But I didn't have any dill growing, so I had some fennel outside in the garden that I chopped a frond off instead. Place your jar on the scales, then tare your scales to 0. Add in your herbs and spices, and then your chopped celery. You'll notice that I'm not packing my celery in here tight like you would pickles. That's because the juice that surrounds the celery after it ferments is going to be like the ultimate flavour enhancer. I use it quite a lot in sauces and dressings and stuff. But you can definitely pack this as tight as you like when you're making it at home. Next, fill your jar to the top with good, clean, filtered water. Now take the total weight of your water and vegetables and multiply it by 0.025. This is how we're going to find out how much salt you need. I'll put an example up on the screen. If you've got a jar with a lid that seals properly, close the lid and give it a good shake to dissolve all that salt. Otherwise, once you've got your measurements done, you can pour the liquid back out, dissolve the salt in that liquid, and then pour the salt solution back in over the vegetables. Now that everything's mixed thoroughly, I'm just going to open the lid back up, make sure that everything's underneath the water, and pop a weight on top. Close your lid, label it up, and let it sit in a cool, dark place for about 2 weeks. Traditionally, celery salt is made with celery seeds and salt, and probably a whole lot of other ingredients that we don't want to know about. But once you try making this at home for yourself, I guarantee you'll never go back to store-bought. First, you'll need to start by thoroughly drying the leaves out. You can do this a number of ways. You can lay the leaves out on drying racks or baskets. You could hang them upside down like flowers, or you could use a dehydrator like I have. I've just had these sitting in there on and off for a few days at 35 degrees. You'll know that they're dry enough when they're crunchy and not bendy. You'll want to use some sort of high-speed blender for this. A food processor just won't cut it down fine enough. So start by filling up your cup or whatever with as much of the celery as you can and give it a good blend. Once that lot has broken down, take your lid off and add more celery leaves in and blend it up again. Now add in some good quality salt. We like to use Australian lake salt. Exact measurements aren't really necessary here, but I just kind of work on a 50-50 ratio. This stuff is just amazing. It's earthy and fresh all at the same time and complements the natural flavours of the dish while enhancing them. It's about 3 weeks later and I'm ready to try this celery. This probiotic-rich brine is almost a standalone product. I use it in place of or alongside vinegar in most of my sauces and dressings. You can even use it as a starter culture for future quick pickles and ferments. Let me know in the comments if you try either of these recipes, and don't forget to subscribe for more garden to table goodies. Have a wonderful day, friends.